What is going on YouTube? Hito Mac making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. Guys, the S&P 500 on Friday closed extremely high, much higher than we had honestly expected to see, considering we've been in this rut for the past couple of months, ever since January here. And then we recently started to see a small correction back upwards, followed by even more weeks and weeks and weeks of dumpage here. But surprisingly, over the past 2 to maybe 3 days, we've actually managed to not only break through our massive descending channel here, descending fractal, but we've actually managed to break above what appears to be a double bottom with the neckline here, and just Friday we were able to break above there. So this is pretty exciting here, and that also means that we might actually be heading even higher up. Honestly, we could be heading even higher up to the point where we break through the previous lows of February and March here, which is most likely coming, and then head even higher to the moving average, if not higher up into these levels over here. But this all depends on how inflation is categorized. If we see inflation still kind of teeter-tottering at the top, then there's really no reason to continue to pump all the way up to all-time highs or buy in. But if we know that we've curbed inflation, inflation starts to really drop, we could very easily see prices get back to all-time highs, if not head even higher, which is very exciting. As for how that affects cryptocurrency, that's going to be a tough thing. Now, back in, and I just want to show you guys this, that we can't necessarily use the S&P and cryptocurrency the entire time, because if we go back to the weekly charts here, back in like 2017, 2018, when we saw the prices, I think it was like right here. This is 2017, 2018. 2018 to 2020 was all uptrend here. But now look at Bitcoin. From 2018 to 2020, you can actually see the prices from 2018 right here to 2020, which is like right here, was all pretty much downwards momentum, was prices dropping. You can see it. I just want to pull it up for you guys real quick. So 2018 was like right in this range over here. And then you guys can see 2020 is right about here. So we haven't done much but correct lower. This is not a good like tradable market. There were a few opportunities, obviously, but you can see with the S&P from here, 2018 all the way to 2020 was just uptrend, 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 uptrend. And we actually managed to correct from its lowest point up about 45%, which is really good compared to the Bitcoin charts, which really didn't do that much, honestly, from its lowest point, which would have been like right over here. We pretty much didn't move that much either. And there was a lot of volatility and movement. So if at any point you bought in on this run, you would have lost a lot of money. We had, in the long term, managed to consolidate back up to there, but it was a lot more volatile than the movements within the S&P 500, which was slower but more steady and upstream. Now, there's a lot of things we have to talk about as to what's to come now. I do believe we're going to probably see eventually the S&P 500 continue to swing upwards, but we're not going to see that reaction or movement within crypto, and that's why we have to start separating now the S&P 500 from the crypto and from the cryptocurrency market. So we are going to be talking about these cryptos, what exactly we should be doing, when to trade, so on and so forth. We are going to be continuing this for those that didn't watch the video yesterday. With that being said, though, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. So guys, before we dive into the technical analysis, really quick, I am starting my new finance channel, as you guys can see here, called Hayden Schreier. We just dropped a video just 3 days ago called The Biggest Wealth Transfer is Starting and How to Actually Benefit, which is super cool. Make sure to check this out here. Now, not only do I talk about just cryptocurrency that on this channel, but this channel that I have here, which is linked in the description, is not only going to be about finance, but it's going to be about the economy and investing outside of crypto, which is super interesting, as well as updates to what's actually going on with our economy and how to make money. So definitely make sure to subscribe to this channel. We are going to be doing a giveaway at 1,000 subs. We're honestly almost halfway there, which is super cool. And I just started doing this maybe a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. So definitely make sure to check that out. Go support me over there. Now, diving into the technical analysis, you can see here, most cryptocurrencies are pretty much consolidating again. And there's really, you have to be hesitant, cautious about buying into these cryptos right now. It doesn't make sense to. It really doesn't. There's a lot of sideways consolidation, zero movement, zero volatility. We do look good for correction to the upside here. We look good for swings back to the upside here, but unfortunately, most of the markets aren't seeing that movement right now. We're seeing a lot of sideways consolidation because we're flatlined out on the oversold levels on the daily, because we're retesting oversold on the weekly. They all are showing major signs of, hey, we should be able to see a run to the upside here. Because back in 2018, I believe, on Bitcoin, if I just scroll back into the past here, we pull up, yeah, it's right over here, the 2018 drop that we had. You can see if I jump to the weekly chart for Bitcoin here, let me just pull it up. You could see we hit oversold right here back at the end of 2018. This mapped the bottom. The entire correction to the downside here, we were not oversold. But look at where we are now. Today on the weekly, we're oversold on Bitcoin, which could map we're very close to the bottom. This could very much so be the bottom. If it's not 29,000, maybe it's 25,000 being the lowest point we see crypto drop to. I mean, it's a really good sign here, buying in at the lowest point on the relative strength indicator. The highest point was 20,000 back in 2017, the end of 2017. We consolidated all the way to 6,000, wasn't the bottom yet. We consolidated all the way to 23, if not 3,000. That mapped the bottom here. And you can see we're very close to that right now. It's happened numerous times. It's only happened actually 3 times in, I believe, 2018, 2020, and 2022. In like 4 years, it's only happened like 3 times. 1, 2, and maybe this being the third. 3 buying opportunities, and you can see each point buying forward from there were great times to be buying in, dollar cost averaging, or just getting positions at extremely low prices. You can see if you missed this, there was this one 2 years later from 2018. Then 2 years later from 2020 to 2022, it happens again, being probably one of its lowest points. Now, I'd be very shocked if we, fall back down to these levels. It just seems a little too crazy and impossible for us to drop this low, but there's not much stability on a drop that could swing us down to 20,000. It's very possible. And I think that would also influence the S&P. If the S&P started to tank down to like 36, let's say inflation for whatever reason starts to head higher, whatever the reason may cause, then we could see Bitcoin fall down to like $20,000. But I believe anywhere between 20,000, I think 20,000 is pretty much the lowest possible point. I'd be very shocked if we managed to go even lower than that, because that would be like zero faith and hope in Bitcoin here. So I think the lowest possible point would be 20K. So in between 29 and 20, there's not much deviation there. I'd consider be a good buying opportunity here, as well as a lot of the stock market too. But moving forward now, before we kind of end today's video here, you can see a lot of these cryptocurrencies are pretty much just trading in a meaningless sideways consolidation here. XRP has been trending inside what appears to be its support. You can see which started on the 12th. It's currently the 29th here. Lots of sideways consolidation, zero movement here. And until we can break through bottom support or break above top resistance, no reason to buy in. Ethereum, similar concept here. We did have a short opportunity. We did take profits here. It's a very small dump. I'm actually shocked we did this. Now we're battling this resistance here, so we may correct downwards. Once again, now moving forward, I'm going to ignore Ethereum, and my main focus is XRP, the S&P 500, and Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the biggest one to be paying attention to, as it's been trading inside this since the 9th year, maybe the 12th, the earliest, 9th to 12th, the earliest, trading inside, sideways movement, zero volume. The Bollinger Bands have constricted so much so, which is incredible. You can see we've managed to consolidate inside this, which is awesome here. So we're really getting ready for what could be a very big spike or pump in the markets here. So keep your eyes peeled on the way Bitcoin decides to trade, because this is not going to last. This is going to break. We don't know exactly how long this could take. It could very easily do another month, because you can see we're inside this descending fractal. We've consolidated after hitting the bottom here. The markets do not want to allow Bitcoin to go below 30K, which I totally agree with. You can see we've pretty much been consolidating. We can fill in this gap here and break bullish, just like the S&P, which was in this descending fractal here and broke bullish. Bitcoin as well could trade sideways until we hit this and then break bullish, catching us up to much higher levels here, because I could very easily see a flip coming very soon to these markets. Now, I'd like to see how we open tomorrow on the S&P 500. I do believe we're going to be pretty positive here. You can see we've pretty much bounced off the moving average, marking its lowest point, being oversold on the relative strength indicator on the weekly charts, which we haven't been at since 2020 and then also 2018. Not only were they the 2 lowest points on Bitcoin, which we just mentioned, they're also the 2 lowest points on the S&P, which we just mentioned. So these are all great buying opportunities down here. I even think right now is a good buying opportunity. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to buy in. I definitely could have bought in at these lowest points, but I've been, slowly and steadily saving my money so that I could buy these dips here. And I've been very aggressive buying. I think the last time I bought was right here, which is unfortunate. Right here, I bought in. This is the last point, and then we dropped lower, but it's not really that much. I bought in at the lowest point right here. And you can see we've only fallen 9% lower, but really back to like 6.5. This was the lowest point here. I could have bought in lower than that, but these were very short-term corrections to the downside here. You can see they're literally just wicks. These were wicks. Very hard to buy in at these market lows here, but you can see this is pretty much the zone that could have been another buying opportunity. I still can when the markets do open on Monday here. We'll see how we consolidate. But yeah, I've been very aggressive buying into all these positions here, as I do believe they are going to, at some point start to correct back up, which is pretty exciting. Otherwise, guys, it's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. Definitely make sure to check out my finance channel, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.